Right, on this episode of Action with Podcast, I have with me Kushal Gurung, and I don't know how to introduce him because this is actually the first time that I'm meeting Kushal, so I just want to firstly say thank you so much for making time and joining me on this podcast, Kushal.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So since I am going to struggle to introduce you, why not introduce yourself? Putting you on the spot there.
I mean, I don't know how to say it. Like, I'm not, I'm nobody. So
I love that. Oh my god, you're a canvas.
I'm nobody, so I don't know how to like really introduce myself. I mean.
Okay, I'll mention why Kushal is
Yes.
here right now. So Kushal. Okay, long story short, this is Pride Month. Yay!
Yay.
It's June, even though Anyway, so it's June, and I have been on the search for finding a fellow Nepali who is within the LGBTIQ community in the spectrum, and I wanted to bring them on and have a conversation. And I have been seeing Kushal's Instagram and social media for a while, and I was just like, oh my god, I love how he's so out there and just comfortable with who he is, and it's just like full of life. And your pictures and the caption really embody that. So I was like, okay, I'd love to see. I'd love to get him on the podcast, and it was like one night of desperately thinking, oh my god, cool, because let's face it, UK Nepali gay community is not really a community because त्यति धेरै मान्छे नै छैन and हामी सबै किसिमले आफ्नै धुनमा छौँ नि त. And then I just reached out to somebody that Kushal knows, who I know, and I was like, oh my god, can you just drop in a message at this city? And it worked out, and Kushal said yes, and that's why Kushal is here.
Yeah, and here I am. But thank you for stalking me.
Yeah. So I mean, there are some great fun photos. So yeah, we'll talk all about that in a second. But I don't know where to even start from. Do you know?
I mean, I can talk about like how it all started.
Oh wow, okay. Sounds like How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, how it all started. I mean, like growing up in the Nepal community, and then Hong Kong, studying like high school, you kind of like go through the whole process. I used to have problems before.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I'm not a gold star. So I used to have girlfriend before, but it just used to be like a beard, right? And, but at that time I didn't know that I was gay.
Yeah.
And then the more you getting older, you kind of realize like, there must be something different about me. But I used to be like, every boy's like boys. So that was normal because in India, in Nepal at that time, like best friends used to like hold hands.
Yeah, or like the pinky.
Yes,
something like that.
Yeah,
right?
that didn't used to be like the gay thing, right? And after the whole incident happened, and then the Americanized, and they were like, oh, it's gay. I mean, even back in those back in those days, when someone do drag and then dance, especially in the army, right? They used to be like, oh, that's like a skill.
Yeah.
Right? It's not used to be like, oh, that's gay, that's drag. It's like, oh, that's a skill. Like,
That's a part of certain cultures that still exist.
Yes.
So that it's almost like now it's like, it's like the masculinity is not there.
Yeah, and I just heard the word chaka.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but at those times, like skill. That's like someone who has a very highly skills when it comes to the performance and stuff like that. I mean, yeah. So that's why like I used to be like, oh, everyone likes boys.
Yeah. It's a default.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's what we thought.
Yeah. And then after that, like I kind of like realized that okay, that's not really true. Then internet came, Google came, and I kind of like okay. So after high school, I was supposed to come to the UK with all my other friends from Hong Kong as well.
So wait, Kushal, so Hong Kong, from when did you start living in Hong Kong?
I don't know the exact age. Let's just say high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The whole high school.
Yeah.
And so I was in Hong Kong, but the US, I get UK, and I kind of like secretly applied for the US. Without knowing like letting my family know.
Also, UK bata apply गरेको
No, Hong Kong bata.
Hong Kong bata.
Yeah. Well, I applied for like the UK university as well, but I was like secretly applying for the US university.
And why US?
And the reason behind is because अब UK मा आयो भने the whole family's here, the whole culture is here. You can't be away from like the Asian
Oh,
culture.
definitely.
I can't
Yes.
really, I guess like
I'm sure you can experience it right now. Yeah.
kinda you can't really like like open up your wings and kind of feel who you are.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I went to US because there was no one over there.
Mm.
Going to China, they were I can be who I am.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I
And
can
where did you pick?
San Francisco.
Oh my
The
god.
gays.
The mecca of the gays.
Yeah, the gay. No, actually I went to Palm Springs, so which is also the mecca.
Oh my god,
so-
another.
Yeah, but Palm Springs is for like old people, like old retired gays, and then obviously San Francisco. But that kind of like I didn't know at that time San Francisco was the gay city of all. Palm Springs was the gay city of all. I think it's just the universe telling me
Yeah.
go over there.
Oh my god.
So I applied for the US and
It wasn't like Wisconsin or like, can you imagine if you were like in the middle of nowhere?
Yes, because people were telling me, my cousins were telling me to apply somewhere in the middle of the country because it's easier to, get the visa and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, fuck it, like I'm just gonna go to this place. And I got it, and I went when, like the end of 19 years old.
Yeah, wow. That's such a young age, even though we think like, I'm an 18-year-old, I'm an adult now. But then when you look back, right,
I was a baby.
yeah, to move to a different continent.
Yes. So I just left because I just wanted to. Well, I didn't know that I was gay back then, but I just wanted to understand what my identity is. It's like, who am I? Like, okay, let's figure this out. I have this like question
Yeah.
back in my head, and let's figure that out. So and that was the whole process. And I went there. Even after there, like it took me a year and a half or so to finally realize, like, okay, this is gay. I am gay. And then, the whole process started. It's like, how am I gonna tell my parents? How am I gonna tell my friends? Are they gonna accept me? Are they not? Are they gonna disown me as a friends and family? The
Yeah.
whole coming out series was
Wow.
there.
So was there a bit of a gap between like, I guess you coming to the realization and discovery, right now, and the coming out point? Because sometimes, we want to keep certain things to ourselves for a period until we get to that stage where we want to share. And some people don't get to that stage where they want to share and they just want to keep it to themselves.
I mean, I was kind of outed by my cousin.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I was kind of outed by my cousin, so that kind of made my transaction with my parents a bit more easier to letting them know that like I'm gay, because they were the ones.
Are you still good with the cousin?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's like no hard feelings, but
That's good.
C kind of made it easier because he was like, oh, I heard like he's gay and blah blah blah, and then I hear like hang out with other boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of made it a bit more easier, just to be like, oh yeah, that's true, like I'm gay, instead of like, let's have a sit down, I have to tell you something. So that kind of made it easier, but that was a very tough time for me.
How old were you at like around this time when your parents kind of came to
22.
22? Oh, that's still quite young.
Yeah, 22. But you kind of have to go through the whole process of like, oh, like, are they not gonna send me money, or like, are they gonna kick me out? So once I moved, my cousin moved to San Francisco as well because he got married.
Yeah.
And we used to live together. So it was a whole of like different hardships, challenges, and I think that's the reason why like most of the gays, or many of the gays, are a bit more independent and strong because they have to go through all those challenges than normal straight people, or So.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of kind of battle or things that you need to do alone, right? The discovery, finding strength, as well as
finding strength, finding the community, changing with the family. Also, like just trying to understand who you are. I mean, like yes, once you go through that, like I'm gay. That's a different thing. But then once you know that you are gay, it's kind of difficult to figure out who you are as well. Like there's a different kind of gays, obviously.
Exactly.
There's cream, there's bottom, there's top. Like trying to like find.
And how, like, in terms of, I think for me, sometimes I find that as a gay person, are you somebody who's going to be attending all the different gay events, the gay parties, the gay pride, etc. and so on, or are you actually just somebody who's completely fine in your own bubble and so on as well. And sometimes if you feel like you're not the really out there public gay, it's like, sometimes you just kind of question yourself, like, should I be doing that more, and etc.
Well, I had my fun.
I mean, you were in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
so
where
I
a lot of
had
things
to
started as well.
So I had my fun. So back in those days, I had my fun. So now I'm kind of chill. I just
Yeah.
don't go to every single event that happens. But
I mean, this is also the UK, so I mean, whilst London is like kind of vibrant and so on.
yeah.
Yeah, so UK is slightly more kind of calm, I guess.
Comparing to San Francisco. Comparing to San Francisco, yeah. So we do have lots of functions and we do take pride of who we are in San Francisco, but I don't really see that here in London, especially with the Nepalese community.
Oh gosh,
I don't think there's like anyone, to be honest with you. I think it's just you and me.
Yes.
Just you.
From now, like after this point and this video goes up, if somebody asks me, oh, we need somebody who's like a Nepali gay person in the UK, I'll be like, oh, Kushalsa. I'll direct all the attention to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of new here, so it's kind of difficult for me to like really like find that community, right? Or like, it's one of my goal is to like, to bring that Nepalese community together, but I think they're just kind of scared of to letting them know who they are or their parents, because when Nepali wasn't the Asian country, they live in their family's house, so I think that's a bit more. And just like watching YouTubes and stuff like that, they see the hardship, and which I'm telling you right now, like I don't think like they wanna be in that situation, because it does. It is hard. Yes, it is hard. But it depends on the family, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
the more older you get, I think it's more harder it gets to come out.
Exactly.
For me, it was like I went to US. There was no one. I was working by myself. I was paying the tuition fee, and I was paying like international fees. So that was like doubled.
Yeah.
So it was like fuck it, like I will.
It's like you're already making.
Yes.
Like you're standing on your feet.
Yes.
You're standing on your feet.
So
What's
I
there
didn't have to like
lose?
depend on my parents and my other sisters and cousins and stuff like that. So
I think the challenges of living at home, while it's such a privilege to be able to live at home, is also the power relations between parents and so on. And in the culture that we grow up in, it's also that our parents are always right भन्ने खालको तरिकाले हामी हुर्किरहेको हुन्छ नि त. अनि त्यहाँदेखि अब आफूले आफ्नो बारेमा भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ then you sometimes worry about the relationship that you might jeopardize, but also where your space in that household is, and if there is space for you, जुन चाहिँ अघि आफूले बताइरहेको थियो नि होइन, and I think त्यस्तो कुराले पनि हामीलाई चाहिँ झन् हाम्रो जर्नीमा अलिकति ढिलो हुन्छ होला in terms of really coming fully out and being openly embracing ourselves, and obviously I think that standpoint कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ shapes a person's decision to say like, okay, I'm gonna be discreet, I'm gonna be private, this is my way, and that's fine. But I also feel like, oh my god, we are also in the in a country where it's a lot better to be openly gay than some certain societies and so on, and where possible I would encourage, but no pressure. So last one's a no pressure disclaimer.
No, I mean like like I feel like in Nepal they're like more openly gay.
Yeah, definitely.
Than here.
Yeah.
I mean, you go on Tinder and there you find a lot of gay
and
people.
even if you just go to like Pink Tiffany in Tamil, there's like a gay bar, and there's a lot of trans women, trans men, queer people, lesbian women, gay guys, and I love that they're so comfortable with themselves, and a lot of them have come out because I think they've gone through the same journey. उहाँहरूको घरहरू चाहिँ अब झापा हो कता कता होइन टाढा टाढा, and काठमाडौँमा चाहिँ in a way already आफ्नो खुट्टामा उभिराख्नु भएको भइरहेछ नि त, and they do find that courage, and it's like, what, I'm my own person now, so I will do it. And whereas यहाँ चाहिँ अब जहिले पनि हामी आफ्नै एउटा family homeमा छौँ र family homeमा even if you're like 28-year-old तर बाउ आमाले चाहिँ बच्चा जस्तो नै हुर्काइरहेको छ भने चाहिँ you'll never find that calling खालको क्या. And so I do find Nepalको queer scene so inspiring. यहाँ चाहिँ छैन भन्दा पनि हुन्छ.
Yeah, you can say
Nepali context
you can say it's non-existent over here. But यहाँ पनि if you go on like Tinder and Grindr, like you will find few कोही छ
नेपालीहरू त छन्
नेपालको छ तर they're it's like openly like I'm married, but I wanna like play
Have
with the
fun,
boys,
have fun, meet
with
you,
yeah,
meet people, have a time. And it's just like, oh my god. So when I'm on the apps or using the apps, I'm like, when I see a Nepali or if I spot a Nepali, I'm just like, hello. Cool. But I see it as another opportunity to network.
Yeah.
But then people run away. People are,
Blah.
yeah, I think because obviously, like I completely understand their perspective. I guess they're worried about their discretion, and उनीहरूको अब केही खोलिन्छ होइन थाहा पाउँछ अरूले भन्छ association. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. तिमीलाई भएको छ कि छैन है? Like recently, I went on a holiday with my sisters, and there was somebody else like Nepali who were on holiday as well, and I think it's just like मसँग एउटा फोटोमा हुँदाखेरि नै ब्रोहरूको अरू ब्रोहरूले चाहिँ ओ के हुँदैछ खालको क्या like they're like just like being pictured. Some people are worried. Do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like I have like few not friends, but like I mean you can say friends. One's like हुन्छ नि अब के भन्छ अब this is like let's go to gay bar. So go my जान्ने सबैले हेर्छ यार यताउति I'm like have you seen your face?
Yeah, it's like oh my god.
I know, so have you seen your face? Like you have no idea like how picky we gays are. And
Exactly.
I'm like
so inflated ego.
I know. I'm like I don't think no one wants you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those kind of things. But I do have a best friend. I mean, friends. My best friend's called Beyonce. His name is Simon. Like I just like her. Like he's so like okay with his own masculinity that like, he's fine with like going to gay bars. Like I climb on his lap and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Just But yeah, but he's like really fine with it. Like we go to gay bars all the time, and it's like completely okay. We go to like go and see drag shows and stuff like that. So I do like he's like very okay with his masculinity.
Yeah.
And then, but also like there have been time like here in London that they haven't really told me, but I know that they were like, oh like don't bring him because my son might be gay.
Oh my god, really?
Like like it might be
fun. Oh, Nepali.
Yeah. It's like those kind of things. It's like yeah. I mean they haven't really said it in my face, but I know that they talk about it and and stuff.
That's so annoying.
I know. I mean what else? I mean I don't know. What else can I say? I just like and like move on.
Dude, okay, that's so right. That's so right, Pandale. That's like कति चाहिँ के सोचिन्छ भने like you live in a Western society, you live in London, etc. And you'd think that people know what trans means, what gay means and stuff. I know that I went to a wedding recently last year in UK मै अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ एकजना well-meaning person ले नै भनेको थियो it's like oh Lex तिमी त कस्तो चेन्ज भएछ तिम्रो त के भन्छ स्वर पनि कस्तो सफ्टर भएछ तिम्रो स्किन पनि डिफरेंट भएछ के हो like medication सुरु भयो भने क्या and I'm like huh like I'm still the same खालको like किन के चाहिँ different भएर and obviously I was speaking अलिकति low tone मा because there's a bloody wedding taking place क्या त्यो पनि त्यो घरवाला wedding क्या पूजाहरू सबै गरेर आएको it's like a transition गर्न आँटेको हो भने क्या and I was like no किन गर्छ र भने क्या अनि and then उनै blank भयो क्या that person completely like got lost क्या like उसले के चाहिँ बुझ्नु पर्ने भनेर and I said I'm gay I'm not trans and there's a difference भनेर मैले त्यहाँ बुझाएँ and the funny thing is that this person is a teacher so I'm just like oh my god that's so scary क्या because अब ऊ एउटा teacher भयो पछाडि for some people she's the fountain of knowledge and so on and while I understand that not everyone has to be educated about everything but I also feel like we live in the best time to educate ourselves so I honestly feel that it's your fault for not knowing
like do your homework
on top and it's not our responsibility all the time to educate people like why should we have that burden oh my god anyways
no that's so true because I feel like the Nepalese community here are a bit more backwards than the in Nepal.
Yeah, sometimes I mean I'm going to use the word regressive. It almost feels like त्यो हाम्रो जातले हो कि हाम्रो त्यो sense of
no because they live in a bubble.
The bubble पनि हो
the Nepalese community they live in a bubble and they really don't go out of it. So the नयाँ भाइ बहिनीहरू which was born here and so they are kind of like open and be like oh blah, blah, but then the people before us are like a bit more older that kind of
Yeah.
like stayed in the bubble and
Yeah.
that's it.
I completely understand, like staying in the bubble and the worry of like हाम्रो अब भाषा वेशभूषा बिर्सिन्छ भनेर होइन. I completely understand before like anybody gets riled up about what we're saying here, but I also understand that we are where we are and we need to get with the times up, okay? And it's like until and unless more people are like challenging it, more people are having intercaste marriages, interracial marriages, more people are coming out, we'll continue to perpetuate whatever stereotypes and all these harmful things that we talk about. And it's so rife क्या यहाँ चाहिँ किनभने हामी त आर्मीमा मात्र होइन, हामी जातले पनि छुटेको छ, पल्टन अनि ऱ्याङ्कले छुटेको छ. And it's like outside of all of this, we're just humans and we're just like working like random jobs क्या. But then त्यो भित्र चाहिँ नि we're so hooked on to त्यो status, सम्मान and stuff. I find it so toxic. And it's not the toxic that I like, which is
I mean, I'm kind of
really
okay with
serious.
no, I'm kind of fine with it because I guess like I'm not in that world.
Oh, yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, so because I completely got out of it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's your problem now because I have my own problem to deal with the world.
Oh.
Not just with the Nepalese community. It's just like even now, you do get gay bash and stuff like that. So I have my own problem to deal with. And so it's the straight people. You guys do your own thing.
Oh my god, yeah. I think they will. And so yeah, I get really like kind of confused and perplexed about this because I, पहिल्यैदेखि नै अब नेपाली समाजसँग कति धेरै मिलेर गरेको छ नि त. And so I always am there and I try not to be right in the middle of it, but I also realize wow, we have so much more to discover, unpack and stop. Yeah.
I'm like more than happy, if someone comes at her. So okay, what is this? And then what is gay? What is trans? I mean, I'm more than happy to give the knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, you need to learn this, you need to learn this. You need to
Yeah.
learn this.
Yeah, त्यो चाहिँ I think त्यो सिकाएर चाहिँ कहिले पनि सकिँदैन होइन. त्यो आफूले गर्न सक्नेसम्म मात्र गर्ने हो के अरे. That's it really.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess that is it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like I have my own world, I guess, and I recently moved to the whole Nepalese community, so that's kind of different. And that's kind of different. So I mean,
Yeah.
horse and stuff.
I love it.
Nepal stuff, but do people do like? किन लगाएको होला भन्छ नि त्यस्तो अनि यो भाइ त कस्तो केटी जस्तो छ है हो त्यस्तोहरू.
Oh gosh.
I do get comments like that.
Yeah.
भाइहरू कस्तो केटी जस्तो छ. So yeah, but I'm like so used to it now. It's like यो एकपल्ट कामबाट उठेर अर्को कामबाट निकाल्ने.
But was there a point पहिला where it kind of made you feel like, oh my god, उसले त्यस्तो भन्यो, so should I stop this? Should I stop wearing like lighter colored t-shirts? Or
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in the beginning, so yeah. When I was like 21, 22, at that time I was in the US, so I didn't really care. I mean, I did care because I just didn't want to, to be gay bash.
Yeah.
And then like when I used to come to the UK during my summer vacation, yeah, I used to just wear plain, just dark blue, and not really
Blend with everybody
just
else.
blend with everyone. And then the older I got, and it's like more of like I'm very comfortable with my own skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was like, it's okay. Like why hide?
Exactly.
Like I'm not hiding anyway, but I was just trying to blend in with the society and the community. So now I'm like as gay as I can be.
Yeah, I mean, when you reach that level of you're 100% cool with who you are, everything else is just noise, right?
Yeah.
And I think, that's where you are, and it doesn't really affect you.
Yeah.
And also, these voices a lot of the times are coming from people that are not really a central person in your life.
Yeah.
They,
No, but then word does hurt, even though they are nobody.
Yeah.
Like when they say something, it just kind of like
True.
Yeah.
True.
So from their side, के भन्नु भन्न अगाडि पनि सोचेर हुन्छ नि. Like don't just say it like छक्का. Don't say like so केटी जस्तो like हुन्छ नि यताउति. So I mean, yeah, they're nobody, but it hurts when someone hackles you.
Yeah.
So.
Equally, I'm sure it would hurt them too if somebody made a comment about something about their lives.
I guess so that's why the gays are a bit more bitchy. But I think like that's more of like the
Defense
shield.
mechanism,
Yeah, different mechanism
of
is a
course,
shield. Because in high school, like there were a few boys who used to be like Kunjani, or would try to like make fun of the like my femininity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like so yeah, I just used to like say like something bad about them.
Yeah.
And that would like shut them up, and then the next time they would not say anything. So and that's how I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why how the other guys are. I mean,
Yeah.
like I went to Hong Kong after like graduating high school, and it was like after 10 years ago. I was just walking, and then there was this guy who went to same school, and he was like, "Oh hey, like how are you?" Like not like, "Oh hey, how are you?" Like it's more like, "Oh hey, so gay."
Hey, wow.
Yeah. And then the first thing that came out was like, "Yeah, and you're still fat." Because he was fat. He was fat in high school, and then after 10 years he was still fat. So like, I didn't even have to like think about like, okay, what should I say next?
Okay.
But that was his
Same
thing.
treatment back.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, instead of like, I haven't seen you in 10 years, be like, oh my god, like, what's how's it going? What you doing? It was like, oh hey, so gay. And I was like, oh yeah, you're so fat.
I love it.
So those kind of things. It's like, so that's why I say it's like the straight people. It's like if you want to say something, like be careful because I will destroy you with that words.
Yeah.
But
Also, like I think that's pretty nice. Like if you don't have to say it, then don't say it.
yeah.
But also, in terms of what do you think, like people who are not in the LGBTIQ community, what can they do to better, like to make society or to make just like this space better for people who are like us?
I don't think they really don't have to do anything much. All they have to do is like get some knowledge about who we are, and try to put us in their own situation as well, because we do have our own hardship.
Yeah.
And just like you said, like keep भन्नु छैन भने don't say anything, because you live your own life.
Exactly. It's as simple as that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, simple as that. I mean, they don't go and then like talk shit about other straight men, do they?
Yeah.
They don't. So it's like, okay, like I will go to a restaurant, look at me, and that's it. Like you don't have to be like pinpoint and be like, oh, के लगाएको होला, केटा मान्छे भएर किन यस्तो भएको होला, आमाबाउले के भन्छ होला, हुन्छ नि. It's like मेरो आमाबाउले केही छैन भने I don't know why they have their problem. They go like आमाबाउले के भन्छ होला है बिचारा, एउटा मात्रै छोरा, अब हुन्छ नि छोरा पनि पाउँदैन, छोरी पनि कोसँग बिहा गर्छ होला, अब त्यस्तोहरू कमेन्टहरू सुन्छ. अब even like my mom, they keep on saying like, oh, like they keep on asking me when I get married.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I mean, I will get married, but not with a woman. I'll get married with a man. So those kind of things. Like they don't really have to do anything, but if they want to be in the community, then that's a different thing.
Yeah.
To support and other stuff, but like other than that, like no. Just have a general knowledge of like who we are. Yeah.
And sometimes less is more, so don't say much.
Yeah.
Going back to like you talked about kind of family and parents are like just say all city. So I just wanted to ask, like, obviously in your younger years when your parents were informed by your cousin, and I guess eventually when you told them about yourself, your orientation, how did your family members react?
I mean, my mom didn't talk to me for like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was different. But also, I'm also like, fuck it then. If you don't want to speak, then I'm not going to speak as well. Because she was here in the UK, and I was in US, and I was like, well, it's not that I'm getting supported by.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine. Like, but also you kind of have to realize like, okay, she just lost a child, right? Because she had her own dreams. So and also I'm the only child. So when I say sisters, they're actually my cousin. For example, Nepali Asian sisters cousin. So
you're like everyone. You're like whole
yeah. So they kind of like lost that. So so I kind of gave my mom some like grief time to like to go through the grieving process and then like think about it and come back and be like, okay, like this is my son and blah blah. But it did take some time. Luckily, like nothing happened. There was no fights and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, nothing like back talking.
Yeah.
But
obviously that was a long time ago. So right now, how are things?
we're like sisters.
I love it.
We're like sisters. I do her makeup. So Yeah, I do her makeup and skincare and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think I got the skincare from her because her mom, her mommy consists she's always like very knuckly,
Uh-huh.
knuckly type girl. It's always like taking care of her skin, and I think I saw that, and I think I got that.
Love it.
Yeah, and then now I have my own business,
Nice. Which is
which is House of Couscous. Please like and follow.
House of Kush Kush. I guess we can find it on Instagram.
Yes.
And what's your vision for House of Kush Kush?
Well, right now I do have a treatment room in my own house, and then people do come. I kind of gave up the corporate world in 2019,
I see.
and then started having my own business because I was kind of done with the corporate world. I mean, I still do marketing, freelancing on the side, but and then pandemic happened,
Yeah.
and that was shit.
Of course, of course.
And then, so because it was a very, like a very startup-y,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go back and then do the corporate job again. But the main goal for House of Couscous will be like, I want to have my own skincare
Mm-hmm.
line. So I'm in the phase of like researching, and I did graduate. I did go to skin school in the US,
Oh, okay.
and then when I came here, I had to redo it again because
Ah.
it's not transferable.
All right.
So I have a license from US and the UK.
Wow. Double certified just in case, I know. So
Yeah.
the way sides of the pond for skincare are
Yeah.
very qualified.
Yes.
But so when you originally went to America at the age of 19 and studied, did you guys in Palai wise and what subject did you?
I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Oh, how cute.
I did study for a year and a half, so I did graduate a bit more later than my other friends because I did study for a year and a half. And then since I'm not rich, US it's like I was paying like double the fee, so I was paying like $16,000 per semester.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
That's a lot, yeah. I don't know like how I paid for all of those money by myself. Like
Yeah, how did you?
I don't know.
Oh god.
Like thinking about it, it's like how did I do that? I mean, but then there were like lots of hardship. हुन्छ नि अब कहिले कसो खाना पाउँथेन हुन्छ नि like one chicken leg, like I would make that for like a week.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
now I can eat like 2 chicken legs per meal, but at that time I would make 1 chicken leg per like a
You
whole
have to
week.
ration for both.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was tough. I mean, just because I was in the US doesn't really mean that I was like living that life.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So and then I did the business,
Mhm.
and I graduated, and then I studied marketing.
Yeah.
Went to school over there, and after graduation I was supposed to come to the UK. तर अब त्यतिखेर पैसा लगेपछि I was like, like I want something out of US as well.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so I went to office, found a job,
Yeah.
got it there.
Wanted to enjoy the whole work-life calcul.
It's like, oh yes,
money.
yes, because
Yeah.
I was making my own money. I was making money other ways before that, because at that time as well, like waitering and
Yeah,
dog
of course,
sitting,
yeah.
doing this, blah blah blah. It
But
was
then you
not
got, I
really-
guess you always had to think about like paying for that tuition fees or
Yeah.
cost
I
of
mean, my friends, they're still paying for the tuition fee right now.
Yeah.
I already paid for it, so I'm like debt free.
Oh my god.
But then at the time,
But yeah, that's really good for you. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That's sad.
yeah, it was like really. I mean, now if I think about it, it's more of like goosebumps of like
Yeah.
how do I do it?
Right.
Like I don't want to be in that situation again.
I think it's so much pressure, okay, because at that time, when we're like in our early 20s, obviously the perfect thing would be for us just to be able to focus on either studying,
Yeah.
but also enjoying and taking, all the opportunities that there are, whether it's to network or meet people, have fun,
Yeah.
and also attend all these extra classes. That as the stories of so many Nepali people goes, or people who move from one country to the other and start from scratch,
Yeah.
where having to work like odd jobs, एउटा मात्रै नभएर दुईटा, and then think about त्यसले पनि पुग्छ कि पुग्दैन, पढाइको लागि, रेन्टको लागि पुग्छ कि पुग्दैन. And then in addition, I'm not sure America if you had this issue, but yeah, the Nepalihरुको to an extent भएन, but then it's like मेरो visa,
Yeah.
would I be able to kind of stay and continue studying and all that, right? And just like, damn, like how many things do you balance, and how does that affect the psyche mentally? So for some people, you just grow stronger, because there's no way, right? But some
Yeah.
people, it really breaks you down and wears you down as well, okay?
I mean, there were lots of nights that I cried as well, and there were so
Yeah.
many times I was like, I can't do this, like, because I have the UK passport, so it was very easy for me to just hop onto the plane, on a plane, and then come to UK. I was not going to Nepal.
Yeah.
Third world country ma jane bhae po huncha ni, no, I have to like stay in
Yeah.
the US because it's bad over there. So, but there were so many times where I wanted to give up. I think it's just because that if I was straight, then I think I would have given up and come to UK. I think it's because of me being gay. The life was like, I can't see myself living in the UK being who I am.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, no. Like, I need to stay here. The life over here is so much better.
Yeah.
And all of those hardship was done. I mean,
You got through it.
yeah, like I walk dogs, I have done waiters, I have like clean toilets. I've done like many odd jobs in the US, and it just, I mean, yes, I was on Instagram and then like going through all of those things, but you know what people say, it's like whatever you see on Instagram, like don't believe that, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I was cleaning toilets, but at the same time I was like partying and doing all this stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's what we need to just realize and understand, because it's not just one story, it's a lot of us. We've all done so many like hard jobs or jobs where we're like, oh my god, never thought I would have to be doing this, but they're like, let's do it because I need this, I need money. But I have to say, the pictures that you uploaded when you were even dog walking, it looked so glamorous. I was just like, oh my god, I want to be a dog walker too.
Yeah, see, that was my job. That was one of my jobs. I used to do like 3 jobs per day. Like, or go to school in the morning and then walk dogs and then waiter or like clean the bathrooms or whatever. I had like so many different jobs, and then like go to school at night again. And because I was young, I had the energy to do all of those things, but also at the same time, because I was gay, I just didn't want to come over here.
Yeah.
यदि म युकेमा भएको भए I wouldn't have done that job. किनभने अब मम्मीहरूले हुन्छ नि कति छ काम गर्नुहुन्छ, अब अरूले सोचिहाल्यो भने पनि अबे फल्नाको छोराले हैन टोयलेट सफा गर्दो रहेछ कुरा हुन्छ नि त यहाँ. So that's why it's like a whole thing of like the Nepalese community, the whole like, being gay. Like I just didn't want to be.
But then I think it's good to also do lots of different types of jobs. It's almost like we still have that kind of certain things around. Certain jobs are better jobs and certain are not. But at the end of the day, you know what? You just have to do what you have to do and pay the bills, etc. For some of us, we know where our destination will be, and we know that this is only a little phase, little chapter on that journey. So I wanted to ask, because you mentioned about, one day if you get married, you're gonna get married to a guy. So is there any love interest in your life?
Not right now. So when I was in the US, I did have lots of boyfriends. Not lots of boyfriends, but not a slut, but
you weren't alone.
Yeah. Let's just say that. Like I was not alone because I was young and I was like had the body, house in San Francisco.
You still do, I'm sure.
I don't, but thank you. So I was there, and so as I said earlier, like I was supposed to come to the UK after graduation, but like did a job, and also San Francisco is a tech hub, so lots of like working at the tech company. So when you work at a tech company, you're like, ooh, like working for a tech company, blah blah, and then the money was good. Yes, and the money was good because tech company gives you a lot of money. So I was making a ton shit of money.
Nice.
Than my sisters and the others who were just working as a normal job. So coming from walking dogs to having the money of the tech money, I was like, I'm not gonna go anywhere. Like this is it. Like and then
this is what I've worked so hard for.
And it was really nice. And like you work Monday to Friday, and then you go out and party from like Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh my god.
That's what I did. I had fun. I couldn't say like I did the gay stuff, but I did the gay stuff. I did everything that you can think of.
I don't know what to even say.
I do something and I will be like, yes, I have done that. Yes, I have done. So, but then now I'm like settled.
Countless parties.
But now I have like settled down because I'm getting older. But like when I had because also I came out very late. So I was like catching up, with all of those things.
I mean, I feel like a lot of us who come out in our kind of mid-20s, even early or late 20s, we feel like almost like कति मान्छेहरूको त 30s नै or from that point to early 30s नै we're playing catch up.
I was playing catch up at that time. So I was doing everything that I could because I was like, I might not get do this again.
So now I want to ask, like, in terms of obviously, you know, dating, being gay, dating, plus the whole kind of culture of just like, you know, the casual sex and so on that is
Yeah.
so rife in our in community overall, but also as well as like within you know, gay men and so on, because you know, sex is such a integral part of who we are, and so a lot of us discover ourselves and who we are
Yeah.
through the physical kind of context and contact, Nita. In your future, like, what do you see? Like, do you see, in terms of your views around relationship and marriage, you know, what's your idea about it?
Like overall, or in the UK, in the neighbors community?
No, for yourself, do you, like, is that something that you would, you believe in? You
Oh,
would
yeah,
like
yeah.
to get married, and it's like,
Oh yeah, I would love to, have my own
uh-huh.
dream, because when the gay marriage happened in San Francisco, like I was there. It happened in Castro, so I was like actually there, and like it was, like
It's such a
that's
historic day.
yes, and that's what I want as well. I
Ah.
mean, if I can have a Nepalese boyfriend, that would be great.
Have you had Nepali boyfriends in the past?
No, I mean, can you? Quite hard.
Okay,
Even if they have,
if
even though there are Nepalese gay in the UK, out is high now, they don't come out.
It's like you would have to go back into the closet.
Yes, I have to go back to the closet and just be. Everything will happen behind the closed door.
Yeah.
Outside, it's like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I'm also a human being. I also want my own family. I want to have 2 kids, and that kind of like happened when I was in US. But obviously that was not with a Nepalese person. It was with the the American white, whatever you want to call that. But that didn't really work out, right? So heartbroken, blah blah blah. Same old story. And then here, I mean, I would love to have.
Yeah. So okay,
like
what have you?
Boyfriend and Nepalese husband.
I love how Kushal is really stressing upon the Nepali husband or Nepali boyfriend, right? So.
Nepalese boyfriend and then Nepalese husband.
Louder.
Louder, please. They never. They would never come out.
Yeah.
They are. I've seen them. But they would never come out.
Have you met them?
I have not met them, but I've seen them because I live next to the camp.
The Cyprus military camp?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So I've seen them on the app, but
okay.
but I don't think they would ever come.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. Not
Yeah.
soon.
No, honestly, I feel like, and कहिले काहीँ चाहिँ मलाई पनि त्यस्तो लाग्छ क्या कोही साथीभाइहरू हुन्छ नेपाली who are closeted है अनि उहाँहरूको लागि चाहिँ उहाँहरूले इन्ट्रेस्ट देखाए पनि I almost feel like, oh my god, I'm not going to go down that route because I almost feel like I need to be part of their journey of them overcoming, and do you get what I mean? Sometimes you kind of feel like you have to be part of their growth and challenges and so on. I'm just like, oh my god, I need to look after my own health.
For me, it's like I'm okay to go through that challenge because I've gone through that. So even with the younger generations, if you want any help, do come.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I will give you as much advice as I could from my own experience, but not from theirs. I'm more than happy to go through their journey or help them because I feel like in the Nepalese community, there are not many idols.
Yeah.
Not many idols. There are not many like the people.
Oh, I meant middle lover.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
But I think in terms of like as a guiding people.
No. For me, like I can go with the lovers. If I can find a husband, then I'll go with that.
Lover like the 110%. That's funny. So in terms of like U.S. San Francisco. I mean, U.S. is such a big thing, but like San Francisco, like dating and the whole thing there, and in comparison to obviously you did live in London as well before you moved out to where you currently are. How have you found like dating in the UK, in London, etc., in England?
It's the same, to be honest.
Okay.
It's the same because London is also because of the app.
Yeah.
It's very easy. In Sandhurst, there's no one. So I'm still single. So sometimes I'm like, why did I move over here?
Location radius increase.
Yeah. I was like, why did I move here? But yeah, when I was in London, it's the same thing in San Francisco. There is a good side, there's a bad side.
Yeah.
The whole gay culture is also a bit more toxic than we need.
Yeah.
It's all about like looks, it's all about sex, it's all about having 6-pack. They're like worse than Hollywood. If you don't have 6-packs, you're not gonna have sex with you.
And then there's obviously, like certain types, certain race of people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they always. It feels like, some people just strictly won't go for a certain type of people and stuff. But then also certain types are really like
Yes.
attractive,
I just don't-
fetishized.
Yes, like that's what I was gonna say
Yeah.
that word. Like, I don't want to be someone's
Kink, fetish,
kinky,
yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Just because I am like a
Asian.
Asian
twink,
small
couple.
twin kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think there are types in that as well. But I mean, there's a good. Obviously, there's also a good side and a bad side of it. But in San Francisco or here, even here in London, it's more of like I would say it's like a candy shop.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because like San Francisco.
Where are you
like,
seeing this candy? What about it? Can you tell me?
No. It's like more of like San Francisco and London. So it's a part of like a part of like everyone, like different
Yeah.
culture, different ethnicity and everything. So it's like when
I guess
like,
just compare London the Tulo American
there was a-
candy
yeah.
shop.
so it's like when you're a baby and you go to candy shop, you're just like, oh my god, I want this and this and this and this and this. So it's just like that, like you are in that gay world and it's like, I want this Latino now, I want this like, white boy, I want this like the black one, I want this, I want that. There are like few of things like Asian, and even in Asian, like there are different kind of Asian, right? We have the South Asian, some of them are into Chinese, some of them into like Japanese, so it's like the whole thing. But yeah, I feel like San Francisco to be more easier for me.
Yeah.
Maybe because I know the people over there or like how things work, but yeah. But then now, I don't know, like where will I go? Like go meaning like in the love life kind of situation. It's like, but I don't have hope for like a new husband. I want that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't. Yeah, no, there's no hope for me at least.
I understand.
I mean, if someone comes out,
Uh-huh.
then that's a different thing. Maybe our whole situation or this like conversation will help someone to come out.
Yeah, I feel like many more conversations are required. So I do get really inspired by especially the Gen Z Nepali because there's so many, not just gay men or gay boys coming of age, but so many queer people, trans men, trans women, lesbian women, and wow, it's like kosto like
I feel happy for them.
happy
Yeah.
for them, and you can listen to your TikTok, Instagram को growth ले गर्दा पनि उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो confidence boost गरेर दियो जस्तो
Yeah.
लाग्यो क्या.
They're like more openly gay in Nepal than over here. And I really don't see
For
anyone.
sure.
But here, like I probably know like one or two people who are openly gay, the young ones, not
Yeah.
our generation, the young ones. But I don't know if they're like gay or not. But on Instagram, they're
Yeah.
like they're like wild. Yeah.
And yeah, like when I was in school in the UK, there was a school my it's like, so they say 1 in 4 people are gay. So in our class, if there's 30 people, so there must be at least 5 people who are gay. It's like, and then some people will look at me and say, I feel like he's gonna be gay.
And then you became one.
Yeah, and then it's like I think 1 in 4 of it. Where are all the Nepali gay guys? Because there must be more. Because if we say that there's about 150,000 Nepali people in the UK, and I'm like, where are they? I literally feel like मैले 2015, 16 there नि 16 कि 15 मा होला. I did gather with some friends, so I guess we gathered a group of us, maybe there was 14 of us, like not all gay guys, and we went out to heaven.
Wait, the Nepalese gay guys?
Sabai Nepali. So we went out
Wait,
to
so
heaven.
you know, so you do know. the
I do
Nepalese
know, तर भरे के हुन्छ भने नि, it's like अब नो गरेर पनि के काम होइन किनभने it's like another community work क्या मान्छेलाई फेरि ल्यायो, okay let's go out, dinner create गर्यो, and I just feel like
Well,
I'm
at
just
least
doing.
you know someone. I just don't know anyone.
Oh, okay, well I'll tell you after.
Like just like you are the first Nepalese kid I've ever met in the UK.
Oh, okay, wow, my god.
I
hope
am
it
just
gets
like-
better. I hope that तिम्रो lovers are also पछि चाहिँ. तर छन् क्या छन् होइन तर त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ it just felt like हामी कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ मलाई यस्तो भयो क्या like oh okay हामी gay मात्र भएर पनि केही त होइन रहेछ because it's just like there's so many people who like the color green, but apart from that they're so different नि त, and I was just like okay we're gay, but then like I just the commonality, common groundहरू होइन त्योहरू कहिले काहीँ हुँदैन नि त and I'm just like
Maybe we should have like another like a round table of the Nepalese gay.
hey also you can come in
Well, I can come in too, but we can talk about their struggle as well. Like, why are they not out? Like, what's the reason behind it?
Oh my god. Okay, so future episodes, and maybe you can do it. Right? No, I won't do it. So big idea, but no, definitely. I think.
No, because I do want to know like what's the reason behind like not coming out. Like,
okay, my community hall book I think we have a fellow. I don't know if we have a fellow member, Nepali member of the community. When I say, I think on a journey, so I think they might be trans, but I think daytime might say as a human service,
normal
cisgender heterosexual man present गर्नुहुन्छ भनौँ न अनि उहाँले एकचोटि मेसेज गर्नुभएको थियो and he was like I'm gonna say they because I don't want to misgender anybody, but also I do not know because uहाँले भन्नुभएको थियो right now. This is really tricky these days.
And even I get confused.
Yeah, especially when you don't know, so I'll just say they. So they said, let's कसरी गर्यो भने तिमीले नै गर्नुपर्छ एउटा पार्टी अर्गनाइज गर न सबै नेपाली LGBTIQहरूको अनि मैले उहाँलाई रिप्लाई गरेको थिएँ चाहिँ हुन्छ म प्लान गर्छु भनेको थिएँ but I just thought that's another undertaking do you get what I mean? It does feel like work okay?
I mean it does, but then like with your platform I think it's easier for you because you draw more people and it's also kind of like use your platform.
Oh my god.
Like use your
but
platform.
still it's one of those things like okay let's do it like it's something गरौँ भन्छ नि like गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ एकजना मान्छे मात्र हुन्छ नि I've been in so many of those situations so I feel like
I will be the second one.
okay, maybe now अर्को very energetic मान्छे आए पछाडि maybe we can do something
No, I'm more than happy if you want to do any of those things because I do want to know to get something like that together. And that's kind of like a hobby or like side things and also just with the community itself I do want to get in it's just because I just don't know anyone. If I was like born and raised here then I would have done it but it's just because but you have people so use that and I'll like come and help you.
Okay, cool. So
use your platform and I'll be your like right hand.
I can't believe your podcast but I also can't skill action from today but I don't know like is there anything else that you want to talk about?
I do want to talk about you as well. So what was your experience?
Asking about me I guess like in terms of my process of telling my parents I told my parents when I was 25 so which is quite alikati lately that I've always kind of lived with my parents and my family we've always been together so I always felt like there was one thing that I hadn't told them yet because aside from that I'm quite transparent with my parents and always telling them where I am, who I'm with and so on etc. Not always but majority of the time and when I did tell them it still I think there was a bit of like agi afule bhane ni that you gave your mom time to grieve and so on that मैले चाहिँ मेरो बाबा मम्मीलाई भन्नुभन्दा अगाडि I gave myself the time to grieve that in the event and when I do tell my parents that they find that this is too much for them to take on and they want I don't know they do not accept me etc then I need to be ready to move on and move away from them okay and I should not be obviously it would hurt me that I would be like I need to be ready for that and I need to like the grieving process go so I did feel like and I felt like that but thankfully when I did tell them it was privately I told them in 2017 summer and initially I think they were still shocked which is a bit of a shock to me I thought they would have guessed it by then but they hadn't right so because I guess in their eyes it's always like मेरो छोरा पहिलेदेखि यस्तै थियो उसमा केही भिन्नता छैन
with mine as well like all my aunties and everything like that it's like he was always gay it's just a slight gay but like but when you actually like tell them from the horse's mouth, it's like a bit different.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a confirmation खालको नि त, you know?
It's like this is it. This is stamp.
Yeah, त्यही हो. And it's no going back.
Yeah.
No, it's confirmed. So that's it really. And initially they were a bit like, oh, अब हामी के गर्नुपर्ने हो कि, like, is there something that we can do खालको क्या, like to help you खालको. And I was like, no, this is it. And I'm fine. I'm telling you, I'm not asking for help.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something to correct and to get better खालको type को. On this side, everything's been fine. And I think it's somebody, a friend of mine said, do you think that's brought your family closer and made it much more stronger? And I'm not sure if I can say that it was down to that single event. However, I think that did really bring us much more closer some way, and it's like quite a, I don't know, it's a surprise, and it's really nice. So
Yeah, I guess like we've been lucky enough to have
Very
parents,
lucky.
parents like that, because in the US, but they disown you, they kick you
Hi.
out and
Oh my
stuff like
God.
that. But but with my as well, like all my cousins, my aunt, uncle, they're like fine. Like I'm like openly out to every single one.
yeah,
So they're like fine. So
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you have amazing photos and so on. I keep saying कति धेरै तिम्रो उयोको बारेमा, because I think मैले पनि, when I was growing up, I hadn't seen somebody, a fellow Nepali, who was so publicly out there, and like, I saw some of your outfits that you wore to Pride or certain gay events, and then you were like wearing
Too gay.
bodysuit and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love it. Like यस्तो खालको energy भएको मान्छेहरू कहाँ छ यहाँ खालको टाइपको नि त.
I think I was just used to it. San Francisco, everyone does it. But that doesn't really mean like everyone will do it.
Yeah.
I think it's just with my personality, like
Yeah.
for me, it was like there's nothing to lose.
Exactly.
And I'm very confident with my skin. Very confident being naked. So that's why I used to wear all of those outfits. So that's fine for me. And here, when I came here in London, went to Pride, I was just wearing a thong.
Yeah, and was it a warm day? Because the weather is very like up and down.
Yeah, no, it was not. But luckily, it was warm because in July. So yeah, I was just wearing a thong and like. What do you call that? I don't know.
It was
It's
like this mesh thing, right?
Yeah, mesh,
I was just
like
and it was like
glitter
this
thing.
bright lime green thong. I was just like, whoa.
I know, that was like handmade in like Paris, I tell you. It took like 3 months to arrive.
Wow, that sounds quite
Yeah.
expensive too.
But it was all worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But I think like in that kind of way, like I am kind of like not covered about who I am.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like the US taught me not to be.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to lose.
Definitely. So I just want to ask, like, obviously, it's Pride Month right now, June, and the London Pride takes place on, I think, the 2nd or 3rd of
2nd of
July.
July.
2nd of July. So what do you have? Give us some, like, ideas. No, give us some clues regarding what...
No, I mean,
we
I
can
will
see.
be there, but I'm not going to wear anything slutty this time because after pandemic, the body is not the right body. So I'm still going through that.
Love your body.
Like pandemic, like distress kind of stuff. But I will be there. So I will be there here in London, and also I will go to Brighton on August
Oh, yeah.
7th. I think 7th, 6th, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to
yeah.
go to the Brighton one, I think, because there's something else. But I think, yeah, I'll probably go into the London one because it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years that we haven't.
I heard Manchester Pride is really fun, and I've never been to Manchester Pride or Manchester Gay Village. So I've been meaning to go.
But what's Pride for you, though? Or what is what is that? Like, what does that mean in your own terms?
Oh, okay. So for me, Pride essentially means like a remembrance of, the collective action that happened historically, right? And a bit of a celebration. And while I understand that sometimes it's too celebratory at times, but also it's a moment to capture that, it took a while to get here and we still haven't arrived.
Yeah,
I mean, in a way, like, so many things are still, even UK-मा पनि यो conversion therapy भने बल्ल बल्ल मात्रै ban हुन आँटेको छ. त्यही पनि it doesn't include trans people. So it's that, and also it's it's a simple thing. It's a one day where people can really feel like, what, आज चाहिँ म नडराइकन निस्केर
Yeah.
खुल्लम खुल्ला ठुलो आँट लिएर म बाहिर गएर रमाइलो गर्छु भन्ने हो. तर पनि कतिपल्ट डराउनै पर्ने हुन्छ मान्छेहरूको होइन because people still get like hate crimed during pride events.
Do you feel that here in the Nepalese community, like when you go outside?
ए
Like, let's just say like a Nepalese function. Like, do
नेपाली
you,
फङ्सनमा त मलाई त्यस्तो डर हुँदैन
do you, no, but like not like pitni होइन कि तर
comments
yeah, comments. I don't think like the pitni चाहिँ हुन्छ like because we're always with someone else
Yeah.
हुन्छ नि, but like the comments, like even on your Instagram, like do you feel people do comment about you?
Yeah, people do comment. पहिला चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो झन् before I came out
Yeah.
because I think त्यो because they probably felt like उसले पनि अहिलेसम्म केही पनि भनेको छैन यसको बारेमा सो उसलाई त्यो घोचाएर भए पनि भन्ने हुन्छ नि अनि त्यति बेला पनि कमेन्ट गर्थ्यो तर since I came out in 2018 I actually don't get much because it's almost like I said yeah I'm gay and so what and I love it
Yeah.
so you know I love who I am and that's it so it's like it's not something to criticize त्यो भयो नि त reversal
Yeah.
but still कहिलेकाहीँ होइन I haven't been doing much on social media in the past few years honestly speaking तर कमेन्ट्सहरू कहिलेकाहीँ आउँछ but मलाई चाहिँ I've always been so distanced from commentsहरू क्या that it almost like there's this wall and hopefully अहिलेसम्म like I'm fine तर some people say oh Lex you know I'm worried that पछि तिमीलाई you know you're all of a sudden gonna go through I don't know something because you know you're
What
always
is something?
no like you know you really need to kind of they think that I'm going to be affected by this wall that I've created okay it's like maybe you're pushing people out when I got this one so but I don't feel like that I know but
I'm
anyways.
more than happy to push people out if they are not, no honestly I'm more than happy to push people out if they're not really into it.
yeah
I'm like
I think that should be the
yeah
way
that's yeah it's like okay then you live you live your life and I will live mine and if you don't want to be or be supportive of who I am then like bye.
exactly it's like
But I'm kind of worried about
you
this
do you,
conversation
boo.
as well. It's like I wonder like how many people will comment चाहिँ दुईजना छक्काहरू होइन बसेर कुरा गरेको हुन्छ नि so I'm watching whoever comments I will be back.
oh my god back for vengeance रहेछ नि त
No, like I did talk to my friend about like, oh, I wonder like how many comments like I will get or we will get after this podcast. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
who knows maybe तिम्रो admirers-हरू हुन्छ होला
there might be.
there are so many curious people in the world
I know.
you know so people were born I mean society हामी heteronormative society मा हुर्केर होला केटाकेटी मात्र भएर हुर्क्यौँ होइन बिहा भनेको केटा र केटीमा मात्र हुन्छ भनेर and then so many people let's face it are coming to the point that उनीहरू बिहा भयो केटीसँग या केटासँग and they're realizing actually maybe यो त होइन होला नि त maybe मलाई त अझै अरू पो चाहिएको थियो कि होइन अनि त्यहाँदेखि and now you know it's getting worse because biha pani cha but then there are men who are discovering different joys in life
Like I said, on the Grindr or Tinder app, it's like, I'm married, but I want to, you know, fool around with boys and they're Nepalese.
yeah so they kind of and it's just like oh my god
Do you want that life? No. I'd rather be like, you know, हामी जे छ त्यही छ ठिक छ.
exactly त्यही भएर so
It's like, at least I'm out.
but yeah there's a lot of curious people out there but I think it's also good to they kind of in life I think if only we were in a society where things were less rigid and less structure less of that kind of enforced things this is who you are and this is what you're going to grow up to be so as human beings children young people we have the flexibility to dip in dip out and discover for ourselves and not necessarily like त्यो स्ट्रक्चरमा फलो गर्ने बिकज अहिले अब त्यसरी कम्प्लिकेसन क्रिएट गर्छ क्या अब अहिले हामीले त्यो मेसेजहरू पाउँदाखेरि इट्स जस्ट लाइक खालको बट युर वरिड अबाउट दिज पिपलको लाइभ्सहरू पनि क्या
No, yeah, but then I also want to say हुन्छ नि अब the new parents हुन्छ नि अब हाम्रै उमेरकोहरू सबै बच्चाको उस भइसक्यो नि त so for the new parents the new generation like I just don't want them to be that structure of like होइन केटै हुनुपर्छ होइन केटी नै हुनुपर्छ भन्ने but I'm like happy for the young generation though. Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of sad that like it will take a while in the Nepalese community,
oh my God,
but it will eventually happen.
I think it will. You know, we're so fixated in the structure.
I just feel like we just need like more people to come out and be like, you know, support each other and then the community. It's not just about the gays or the lesbians. I think it's just about the parents as well. Like if if their children are gay, then it should be normal, not like हुन्छ नि
Yeah.
नभने अर्कालाई भन्नुहुन्न हो त्यस्तो त्यस्तो कमेन्टहरू हुन्छ नि
त्यही हो एन्ड आई थिङ्क इट्स लाइक अब कति धेरै डर हुन्छ प्यारेन्ट्सहरूको पनि बिकज उहाँहरूले उहाँहरूको नानीहरूलाई ओके तिमी तिमी यस्तो हो भने त्यो ठिकै छ भनेर उहाँहरू पनि एउटा लेभल अफ स्ट्रेङ्थ हुनु पऱ्यो क्या उहाँहरूसँग बिकज त्यो बच्चालाई मात्रै त्यो एउटा साहस दिनको लागि नभएर उहाँहरूको पनि त्यो स्ट्रेङ्थ टु एक्चुली टक टु देयर फ्रेन्ड्स सेङ ए मेरो नानी त यस्तो हो एन्ड द्याट्स फाइन म उसलाई इक्वली नै माया गर्छु होइन त्यस्तो भन्ने खालको आँट पनि कतिको प्यारेन्ट्सहरूको हुँदैन नि त बिकज उनीहरूको ठुलबाउ इत्यादि के हुन्छ भनेर अनि त्यही कारण आई त्यस सो मच लेयर्स क्या अनि वाल हाम्रो फ्यामिली इष्टमित्र र समाज हुनु इज सच अ ब्लेसिङ बट समटाइम्स इट्स सच अ लाइक यु नो देयर सच अ लेभल अफ यो वाल्सहरू अराउन्ड
No, I mean, yeah, it would take time. किनभने मेरै मम्मीले पनि प्रायः सुरुमा भर्खरै when I just came on, it's like, नभने अरूहरूलाई हुन्छ नि नभन मान्छेले के भन्छ यताउति. But now, if you're talking about today, she's like, whatever, you know? Like, everyone knows, blah, blah. She was been saying, like, yeah, my son is gay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but at the very beginning of the, like, coming out, it's like, oh, आन्टीलाई नभन आतालाई नभन बुथालाई नभन हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो कुराहरू but now yeah she's fine she just be like oh this is my son yeah
well I hope like somebody who's listening to this right now would realize that you know what have a bit of patience but things get better and it's like but you need to take that step too and people will meet you along the way and obviously you know you'll find inner strength.
Yes, that's like the great way to say it.
On a lighter note, because I feel like
it's very like heavy conversation.
On a lighter note, who's your like favorite like I don't know gay icon or what does pride mean to you?
I mean, Britney Spears. It's always that, right? Yeah, I love Britney Spears. I was just listening to her album.
Which
the best
one?
Blackout.
Oh my god, I love Blackout. What's your favorite song?
Heaven on Earth.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like very like dreamy.
Like the trancey
kind of thing. It's also like the lyrics is more of like I will come to you like no matter where you are kind of thing. and then you are and then you're heaven on earth. So I was listening to her.
Wow.
So yeah, obviously Britney Spears and also there are other things as well. But pride, when it comes to pride, it's you know. Just like what you said, and especially coming from San Francisco. I mean, again, like I keep on bringing San Francisco, but that's the whole discovery of myself became San Francisco.
Yeah.
So going through all of those things, Harvey Milk, you know, seeing all of these people fighting for gay rights and getting married, the same-sex marriage. Like, yeah, I have gone through that, seen it. So it's a celebration of people who have worked so hard. Before us, and hopefully we can work hard for the Nepis, the new Nepis coming of age. I'm not saying we are Harvey Milk, but you know.
we'll find our own ways to do it.
Yeah, we find our own ways and platforms to like have that. But I'm like very proud of myself, and also like very proud of you as well.
Oh my god, no, you don't need to add me in that. But no, I'm like really inspired by your journey as well because I think that's you know incredible. You know, whenever somebody takes that step to move away from you know where is home, and home is such a big question for a lot of us to begin with, and go through lots of journeys in life. I think that's quite a battle, right? And we probably haven't even scratched the surface, but with things that you've just mentioned, it's such an undertaking for a young person, okay? Because in our early 20s, it's a lot of things that it's like it's like damn type but
I mean on Instagram or you know just talking it sounds fun, you know, San Francisco like gay pride, wearing slutty things, but there have been times where you know in the very beginning like where I wanna like do suicide but I don't want to like talk about it, but like that's one of the things that I was like, oh my god, like what is this? Like everyone is not talking to me, my sisters are not talking to me, my mom is not talking to me. It's better if I just die.
Yeah.
But I think it's up to you where it's like, okay, like fuck off. Like, you know, fuck it. Like, I have to live my own life kind of situation. And there have been times like, you know, the heartbreak and stuff like that. You go through depression, you have you know, anxiety. Like, the hardship is there. We just don't talk about it because when we talk about it, that brings all of those things back as well. Like, I went to therapy many times. And I'm like, also like I love therapy, to be honest with you. Like it has a very bad system, but like I do love therapy, and I when I came here, like I did went to therapy, but also it's kind of expensive, so I kind of
Yeah.
stopped.
Oh my god, of course.
Yeah.
They currently.
But yeah, I went to therapy in US. I went to therapy in the UK. But it's just when you look from the outside world, it looks fun. Being gay looks fun, but deep inside, like like there was a time that I want to die. There was a time that I was like so depressed that I could not like get out of bed for like 2 or 3 days. There was time that I didn't really eat. There was time just I was just like depending on alcohol. But that kind of like those hardships and those challenges kind of made me stronger. It might not be the same journey for you or for him for that person, but that was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And all of those things, like my sisters, they don't know that. My mom, my parents, my aunt and uncle, they don't know that. It's just within me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that it's a lot to take in, and a lot of the times, as you said, we do not feel comfortable sharing these moments and these struggles that we are going through to people around us. And how did you like? It's such a heavy question, or it's such a question with not a simple answer. But where did you find the strength or courage to kind of like move on and to be to understand and realize that, you know what, this is there's more. There's more ahead of me for me.
I think, well, the first time, like, the reason why we don't talk about it is because हुन्छ नि अब हाम्रो नेपालीहरूमा त थाहा कस्तो केटा मान्छे भएर पनि यस्तो भएको हुन्छ नि, that's always the word, right? केटा मान्छे भएर नि किन यस्तो भएको, केटा मान्छे भएर अलिकति बलियो हुनु पर्दैन, केटा मान्छे भनेर रुने हो हुन्छ नि, त्यो हो. That, so that's why I didn't really say anything. But once you have the hardship, I don't know. I think it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
But also I was in US, so I could not fail. That was the whole thing. Like I was living by myself. I had my cousins. I had my 2 cousins, but you know, they have their own hardship as well because they were international student as well at that time.
It's like we all have our own shit.
Yeah, so like I just didn't want to like I said stuff, but they don't know it. So if they heard this, they were like, "Oh, I didn't know that he went through that."
Yeah.
But when you talk about like where the strength came from, I think it's just survival mode. Yeah, and that is it. Like it's just surviving.
And it's so great that you had that mode activated, but it's also really annoying that, you know, it needs to be like that. Okay? You know.
Yes, it's kind of sad thing to know that it has to be like that, but also I would not give up anything for that because I think that happened for a reason.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me the person who I am today. And if that wouldn't have happened before, I think I would just probably be, I don't know, a different person.
Yeah.
So now, because of that, I really don't have a problem talking to anyone. I don't have any problem to like, you know, like whatever hardship like comes in the future, like comparing to that, I feel like I can jump hoops through it, and I'm like, I will be fine.
Yeah. Do a few loops as well.
Yeah,
and
a few loops.
standing
I know.
In your stilettos, I know.
And dance around as well. Like, yeah. So.
Gosh, I love that. I think you know, that's, you know, that just kind of explains and unpacks like how strong of a person you are.
Not just me. I think the whole gay community is kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I think that's how like.
But today we're kind of going all out and praising you.
And I think like
but I completely understand. Yes.
Yeah. I think like that's many gays. So they don't know, other people don't know about it. It's just because he's gay. And that's it. But they don't know about like each and every hardship that people go through.
Yeah.
Like I think like. I have never said this to any of my family members.
Right.
Yeah, I have never said this to my mom. Actually, my mom doesn't know that there was a time where I want to die. Like I never spoke to any of those. But yeah, this is the first time I'm actually talking about it.
Thank you so much for being like so open.
Thanks.
Yeah. Gosh. On a lighter note.
I know it's so heavy. Like, can we talk about like I don't know. Britney Spears?
Don't know, like so as it like in terms of for somebody listening right now, like in terms of somebody who you know, discovering gay spaces, etc., where would you recommend in terms of a nice night out if somebody likes to go to a gay venue?
I mean,
what's your go-to?
I mean, you know, like there are different kind of gays, right? There's in London, there's like Clapham gay, there's a Vauxhall gay, and there's
Yeah.
Soho gay. So I guess it just depends on like who you are and what your personality is.
Okay, what if somebody does not know at all and they are coming from a small town?
Oh, just start
outside-
with Soho first.
Start with
That's like
Soho.
the simplest thing because I think Vauxhall is like a bit more heavy. So don't start over there. So I think that, yeah, just go on the Soho, go to GOY. But I do hate GOY now
Uh-huh.
because of these just youngsters. I just want to look at them and just want to like slap them
Oh my gosh.
because they're so young and I just want to like suck their youth.
Oh my god. Their youth.
Yeah, I just want to like suck. No, not sucking anything else. I just want to like suck.
That's why I was
I know.
clarifying. That's what
No,
you meant,
because
yeah.
they're so young. They're like 21 years old.
Yeah. But also, like, you know, Kushal, if you are watching this and can see this, Kushal looks really young. I would say that, you know, I thought that we were pretty much the same age, but I think I look way older than you.
No, I
But
don't
Kushal
think
is
so.
actually, let's just say his skincare regime routine is doing wonders. So whenever the House of Kush comes out with products, he's the best person to get it from because it's
I am the
clearly doing wonders for
I
him.
am the walking product.
Yeah. म चाहिँ दाइ भन्नुपर्ने जस्तो लाग्यो.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm a lot older than you are. Not just like a year and not a year or two. I'm like a granddad.
That's hilarious. But yeah. And so what type of gay are you then? Because you mentioned there's Soho, there's Clapham, there's Vauxhall gay.
Yeah.
I don't know अरूहरू चाहिँ त्यहाँ भन्दा चाहिँ, but unless it's underground gays.
Well, I think, as you mentioned, I'm old earlier. I am getting old, so I'm kind of like relaxing with the whole thing. So now I enjoy like house parties.
Okay.
It's more of like, you know, drinking wine at home and just like talking and having conversation. But when I do go, it's mostly Soho because that's the easiest and everyone wants to go over there. So
Yeah.
and also like, you know, different restaurants. So it's easy to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, Kushal, like, obviously you've been in so many different, Nepal, Hong Kong, America, UK. That's 4 countries. Like, that's quite a lot of countries to kind of move around. Where do you see yourself, like, in terms of, you know, okay, you know what? This is going to be my base. This is where I'm going to settle.
I don't
This is
know.
where I'm going to, like, I don't know, retire or whatever.
I don't know. I'm kind of done with UK already.
Hi. Oh my
with
God.
the whole thing. Plus, yeah,
The winter is really hard here, I find.
winter is very hard. I don't know. I was thinking about like moving to EU, but obviously we can't now because of the Brexit. But that's the thing. It's like I never feel like I have a home because I was always moving, and it was also because of moving so many times. It's very easy for me to make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm
That's
actually
a great skill to have.
no, but I'm actually like an introvert. Like I don't like talking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But that's like the whole persona of like I can talk, but then
Yeah.
like I'll go home and just be happy being
In your
alone.
own
Yeah,
space
I
and
don't
time.
need people all the time. Like I
Yeah.
will do my thing and then like go back to my cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a
But-
good balance.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, lived in US. I mean, live in Hong Kong for 12 years, live in US for 15 years. And I don't know, maybe in the UK for 15 years, then we will think about it. Like every 15 years I move to a different
Nice.
country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, that.
But if I find a Nepalese husband, I'll stay in
Then-
the UK. No, but I don't know. Just
Or
kidding.
it could be somewhere in Nepal.
Or someone in Nepal. That's what.
Pokhara.
Yeah, that's what my cousin said actually. It's like my cousin is like, don't try to find any Nepalese here or in the US because they're not gonna come out.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be as open as you are. So there are people in Nepal. So go to Nepal and then once you get married and then bring them here. I'm like, but what if I bring them here and then they find someone else? I know they find someone else and like divorce me.
Because they'll suddenly see that
See
they're
the
in
whole
the candy
thing.
shop. They're in the
Yes,
candy shop.
they will
like,
be
no,
in the candy
they're
shop, and they're like,
Candyland.
okay, I want this, I want that, I want that, and like I'm there, like I've already had everything. So for me, I'm like, I'm okay. But for that person,
Yeah.
being in a different, you know, bidets, being in the
Maybe somebody who's very
country.
well traveled, seen a lot of places, etc., but who is in Nepal, maybe that person may be a match for you. If they're still in Nepal, then you know they will be in the same kind of position as you, had the candies, seen
Yeah, the
lots of
candies.
different shops,
Yeah.
and they're ready for that, you know, one dessert for life.
I hope so. I wonder what Prabal Gurung is doing right now.
Oh, are you interested in probably?
No. He's died. But I'm just thinking about like, you know, when you mentioned like that
Uh-huh.
Nepalese who had everything. I think the next one is.
Oh, so you know that Prabhu Gurung has had lots of candies?
I mean, because he's in US, so he had, and also plus
Just winding you up.
Yeah. No, like when I was in San Francisco,
Oh my god,
if
story time.
I know, like if Purple is looking, because I'm also Gurung, right? So like whenever like
So I know how to get it.
yeah, no, like everyone will be like, oh my god, you're Gurung. Like, do you know the fashion designer Purple Gurung?
Oh, I love it. He put Gurungs on the map.
I know, and
Not just Nepal, but Gurungs
Gurungs on the map,
also.
and so everyone will be, so no one knew what Gurung is, but like every time, like
Yeah.
Gurung, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. And everyone would be like, oh my god, that's your cousin. It's like, yeah, that's my cousin. And that was like the like funny for me.
Yeah.
But it was also like, just to see the expression and stuff. Because obviously, as white culture, they have different last name. But
Yeah.
as for Nepalese, there's so many Ranas, there's so many Gurungs and blah, blah, blah. So it's so instead of like explaining, oh, we have all this blah 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 blah, it was just easy for me to be like, oh yeah, he's my cousin. I visit him to New York all the time. And we do kind of look alike if you think about it. No?
I guess so. I don't know.
No, compare.
I guess for a non-Nepali, or they'll probably be like, yeah, you guys do look like Mansala, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that was my
Wow.
thing. So anyways, that was kind of like,
Who knows? Maybe Prabhu Gurung is single.
yeah, but no.
Just Daine.
Dai. Yeah, he's a Dai. Not in a love interest, but just as a Dai. Yeah.
Gosh.
So it's like, see, it's just three of us. You, me, and Prabhu Guru.
There's so many. I think that
But
you're right.
The young ones. The young ones, there's so many. But I think in our generation, I think there's only three. I mean, outside
I
of,
suddenly feel like
outside
I'm
of Nepal.
really old now. Outside of Nepal? I don't know. What I was gonna say was, I think.
Sorry, didn't mean to like compare you with us oldies.
No, I'm.
It's like Prabhu Guru, me, and then you.
Given adjective, I was saying that I think maybe the chances of us meeting, a nice guy is probably way more in Nepal नै होला जस्तो लाग्छ हैन. While it might bring different complexities or kind of interest and commonalities हरूमा के challenges हरू आए तापनि I think त्यही नै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो किनभने I feel like I have more hope there. यहाँ त like I've not dated a single Nepali person in the UK. And throughout, like, I've lived here for so long, you know, and I've lived here all my life. Whereas in Nepal, I have dated few people here and there, but it's never gone somewhere because it was never my base, nita, and I would never do the whole long distance thing at all. Okay, unless there is a solution, as in like, okay, you are moving here or I'm moving there, because I feel like it's a lot of work.
I mean, at least you had. I have never done anything like the Nepalese. Yeah, I've never dated anyone over there or over here because I've never had that connection with them. So, but just the Nepalese thing, it's just easier because same culture.
Yeah. And I guess
same
you
language.
date nagarinjelsम्म you always feel like कस्तो हुन्छ होला हैन कस्तो त्यो dating process and all that भन्ने खालको हुन्छ नि त.
Yeah.
त्यो भएर पनि
Because like sometimes you want to go on a car drive and you want to like Hindi song, you want to sing the Hindi song and you kind of like हुन्छ नि अब
not even Nepali song के
Hindi song अब हामी नेपाली कहाँ सुन्छ. So it's like those kind of things like अब like the meaning in the Hindi song is like so deep, like the white people would not understand that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
म हिन्दी बुझ्दिनँ है. So
but you know that Hindi song.
Okay,
you
but
sing the Hindi song. Yeah.
I understand what you mean. I think like I don't know.
Like हुन्छ नि फरमाइस गरेको हुन्छ नि I'm like this song is for you kind of type.
हाम्रो generation gap रहेछ है.
Yeah, but I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I feel old now.
No, I think I understand the essence of your talk.
But I don't think that's gonna happen.
There's this thing called BS Gorkha Radio in UK ma. So one day, when you find your Nepali boyfriend, तिमीले तिम्रो boyfriend को लागि के भन्छ फोन गरेर गीत request गर्दा हुन्छ.
But yeah, but that's the thing. But also like talking about like the whole finding people in Nepal, I don't think that's gonna happen for me because earlier you said like you don't want to go through a journey with but I don't want to go through a journey with the Nepalese people or person in Nepal because it's like not just the gay journey, it's like whole of like
family,
the thinking and the Nepali thinking and the Bidesh thinking. I think that will be something else as well. But I don't know. I shouldn't say never, but
Yeah.
Kind of feel headache.
But not that I've not that I can say this because I have no experience in terms of love and that kind of stuff. But apparently, when you find the one, when you find the
know.
true love,
Yeah.
you'll know, and all languages and barriers and everything will just come down. But
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
And I think we have to live
Wrap
with
it
that
up.
hope, and I think that's a great point to wrap this conversation up as
Yeah.
well.
But before wrapping up, I just want to say that I'm not desperate, by the way. I'm not desperate to have a boyfriend. Like, I'm happy with me being single and I'm enjoying the single life because
After 1.5 hours.
just from the views, be like, it's not that I want a boyfriend now. Like, I'm desperate to have a boyfriend.
Maybe
Like,
later, right?
but I'm just happy. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the situation and stuff. But I'm like very happy with who I am and what I am.
No, we totally get you. I'm just like thinking, as a pasari, timro,
I know.
as a kush treatment ma dhere manche मलाई.
Not desperate, sorry.
But yeah, Kushal, thank you so much for making time and
Well, no,
really
thank
opening
you.
your heart and sharing so much about your journey. And I know that we've only touched on a few things, but
Yeah.
hopefully this is just the beginning. And touch wood, we will work on to create that event. If there's any fellow Nepali LGBTIQ people or curious or questioning, and you'd like to be part of this this London
The round
event,
table dinner.
London event dinner, then please get in touch with me. I'll make sure that it's all completely private and it's not something that we just flash on social media, etc. This city,
We will respect your privacy.
yeah, and whether you're like 18 or whether you're 42, etc., it doesn't matter. As long as you're of good age, then do come or do get in touch, and then we'll work something out.
Open mind.
Yeah. I might not do that forever, right? This was I'll be like, Lo Kushal Timi ho, aba Adaksha ho." I'll pass the bat on to you.
Yeah, pass the bat.
Which is the pride flag. We should make a pride flag and Nepal goes on.
Yeah, true. I mean, we can have a dinner like during the Pride month, but who knows?
That's too soon.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you know how busy I am? But no, we'll do it at some point this year, like maybe like mid or end summer.
No, but I'm just happy like this is the beginning, so that's fine. Yeah.
But Kushal, you have no idea. There's a lot of drama within Nepali gays in the UK as well, so I'll have to fill you in.
Oh, I do want to hear gossip. I love gossip.
सबैजना मिलाएर होइन एउटा पिस ट्रिटी साइन गरेर
Yeah.
त्यो डिनरमा चाहिँ ल्याउनु पर्ला होइन अनि त्यस पछाडि के हुन्छ थाहा भएन.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm like very new in the whole Nepalese community, so like I don't know anything.
Okay, cool. That's a good place to start. Clean page. This area. All right, thank you so much. And to everyone listening, if you've made it till now, then well done. Right? And give yourself a 5-star and give me a 5-star as well in this podcast and leave a comment. No hate. H8. Teho.
I'm watching.
All right. Adios.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.